Hi, this is Miss Andrea. And the last time we met, I talked about starting a homeschool program. And that was just about a week ago. And I'm back to tell you all kind of how it went and challenges and victories, I guess. Um, the first week went really well. Um, our program, is history based, project based, with English literature, uh, and writing interwoven into it. So a high school student would kind of get 3 credits for literature, history, and writing um, out of it. A younger kid would be expected to do less work, so it would kind of be more like a history, language arts deal. Um, I have 8 kids, 2 high, 4, 6 middle, and a couple of unofficial kids who are a little younger, because I'm not going to tell siblings that they can't stay and get what they can get out of the program. Um, and the enthusiasm for the children, and how fast they jumped onto the uh, project concept was kind of stunning for me. I thought it would be 3 or 4 weeks of showing them these history presentations that I'm writing, and having actors come in and present. I thought it would take them time to warm up to it and say, well, maybe I want to do that. I don't know. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. And nope, nope. They took out their little pens and papers, and they were asking me very pointed questions about different historical subjects they wanted to approach, and if they could team up, into groups of 2, and what kind of research is acceptable. I had my daughter, who was a graduated homeschooled, um, college graduated human, come in and talk about research, and they talked to her for 40 minutes about what's acceptable research, what's not acceptable research. And then that conversation devolved into random facts. I think she was kind of proving, how crazy she is about research. So we decided to see how much information was in her head, and we ended somewhere in with orcas. Um, but the kids just fascinated me. I feel like I have a room full of children that I didn't have before. Um, and I'm very excited for our second meeting, which is tomorrow. And I probably won't get much sleep because there are just some things I want to make sure are right so that the day flows well. Last week was more of an introductory, and so we played games. I made up a little, what's that game where you draw? Pictionary game, and then I added a history fact to each word. And so my sense of humor caught them a little off guard, and they enjoyed the fact that some of the history facts I gave them were about how presidents died, and things of that nature. That some of them just looked at me kind of blankly and nodded, like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And the parents were very excited. Um, and so I'm happy, they're happy, everyone's happy. Yay. Challenges. Enrollment. I spent the entire summer focused on the legalities of starting a homeschool program properly. I have a lawyer, I am incorporated. The lawyer is working on the 501(c)(3) so we can accept donations, so we don't have to charge an absurd amount of tuition. Um, and the reason being, when I was homeschooling mine and realized the youngest graduated in 2013 and she is 2 years post college at this point. When I was homeschooling mine, we were in a homeschool program that met once or twice a week, depending on what services you needed. And it was an amazing experience. My kids had classmates slash family um, in that program, and it helped to be very well adjusted. I'm not going to say socialized, I'm going to say adjusted. Um, the downside is there just weren't a lot of people there that looked like us. Um, Partly based on the geography of where we live, partly based on how much it cost. Um, it costs too much. Um, and I'm not saying it wasn't worth what it cost because I paid it for 9 years. Um, and I'm not even saying that they charged enough because I felt like some of the teachers were underpaid. Um, but I'm saying it was inaccessible to a lot of people. And so the diversity of my children's crowd was thin. And there's some things about that as they became adults and talked to me hurt their souls a little. Just not having that diversity in the room kind of makes you the diversity. Kind of, when you're a teenager, allows things to get said, questions to get asked that in retrospect are hurtful. And understanding that they come out of ignorance and misunderstanding. But there's damage that happens when you're the only Black kid in the room, whether it's meant to happen or not. There's damage that happens. And so I just don't want any demographic at all to feel excluded from my group. Wealthy families, poor families, white families, Black families, Chinese families, mixed families, nothing. If a family has a desire to come, let them come and we will figure out a way to make sure our teachers get paid. And hence, spending the entire summer working on the legalities and making sure we're eligible to accept donations. And, that part of it, we've been more focused on than enrollment. So here we are with less than 10 kids when our goal for this year was 30. So, that said, we're just going to keep enrollment open until we have 30. I gather that'll happen in a couple of months. We still have a couple of families this week planning on stopping in and looking and seeing. So where was I? So last week we played games. We did a short presentation. We asked a bunch of questions. I explained to them how homework would work and what was going to be expected at different levels. I took a moment and pulled aside my high school students and talked about what their goals were and their overall plan. And this week I'm going to take a moment and pull aside, start pulling aside my middle school students to a time and finding out what their goals and plans are. And I'm going to guidance counselor these children. I'm just super excited, and I just want to share that. And I really think the program that we're creating is gonna. I don't want to revolutionize. I don't want to revolutionize homeschooling, but I want to change the way people think about education in general. So if by growing a homeschool center, and I'll talk more about the center aspect of where we're going in my next video, but by growing a homeschool center and giving kids more freedom to learn and follow their passions, if that gets out and touches the way public schooling and traditional schooling happens, then I've done my job. And so, yeah, I'm thinking bigger than a homeschool group. I just am. I started homeschooling in 2003. I finished homeschooling in 2013. And as hard as I tried to step away from it, I just never could. So let's see what happens. Until next time.